Alright guys, welcome back to our channel. Today is going to be one of the first videos that we recorded in a long time together.
All I want to say is welcome back, bro. It's been quite some time since we've seen you on this channel. Now we're going to break down something that's been going on a lot in the time that we've been gone, which have been like the big influencer fights.
Well, let's talk about going to be Jake Paul versus Nathan Diaz.
Yeah.
Today we're going to specify on Nathan Diaz, but like there's been rumors that Nathan's like they're having trouble with the negotiations, that Nate Diaz pulled out, but I don't think anything has been official. I think now as of now it's still going to go on. So we're going to just go on as if the fight is official. But the date, we'll have it somewhere on top so you guys can check it out and stuff. We're going to break down the pros and cons of Nate's style and compare it to Jake's past opponents and how we think that Nate could pull it off. We're not going to give you any predictions because that's something we have to like analyze a little bit more and deeper. But today we're just going to talk about like what Nate is most likely going to do and what like he can do or what we've seen in the fight to MMA. His boxing career is pretty short. We've seen clips that people have judged, but we're going to judge his boxing in reference to his MMA career. The first thing that we noticed, and a bunch of other people brought it up, like George Masvidal when he went on when he talked to Jake Paul about Nathan Diaz, is his cardio. His cardio is going to be the biggest factor because Nathan does not get tired. So Nate Diaz is known for having cardio. We've seen him fight in many 5-round fights against Benson Henderson, against I think Leon was a 5-round fight, or
Yeah, it was.
Either way, he fought Leon, the current champion, for the entirety of the fight, and even at the very last moment, hurt him with I think it was a cross or something, which means that even towards the end of the fight, after 25 minutes or 15 minutes, whatever it was, he's still dangerous. And if you follow him online or if you follow his career for a long time, he's a triathlete. Him and his brother Nick are constantly training. They're swimming, they're running, they're biking. So that style of training outside of MMA has given him the opportunity to just never ever get tired. Like obviously that's kind of an overstatement. Like he gets tired, but he's able to push through it, and his body well better conditioned than most of the people that Jake has fought, because his last few opponents, for example, Ben Askren.
He's not even a striker.
He's not a striker, and then he didn't really take it serious. He came in kind of like flabby and like not really in good shape. Tyron was a last minute thing, so Tyron kind of, especially his style, is very throw power shots. He got tired very quickly, and then Silva, who's much older. So Nathan's and Tyson Fury's kind of the exception. He's a professional fighter. He's
Tommy Fury.
Who did I say? Mike?
Tyson.
Tommy Fury. All right. Tommy Fury is an exception because he's a current fighter. He's, in good shape. You can tell he's, buff and stuff. And even that could be, a con because, all the muscle, you have to carry more oxygen. It's, the muscles require more oxygen. So Nate Diaz, who is, you can kind of say, he's post MMA career, kind of retired from the UFC. He mentioned that he wants to go back, but as of now, technically, he is a retired MMA fighter. But he's not like the people I mentioned. He's not as old as Anderson Silva, and he just fought, a couple months ago. He fought Tony Ferguson. So he's still, I believe, in better shape. One, because it's close. He's still training hard because he's still just got out of the UFC. Also, his training style, in addition to him being just recently retired from MMA, his training style is going to benefit him in this fight because he's not going to get tired. His training style is outside of the martial arts, the triathlete training. It's going to benefit him more in boxing because he's going to have to waste energy defending the takedown. Like many of his fights he's been taken down because that's kind of his weakness in MMA. Yeah. But in boxing, that's not a thing. So he's not going to have to worry about that. So he can conserve a lot of energy sprawling and getting up from a takedown because it doesn't exist in the sport.
Yeah, as you mentioned, the durability is important. At the same time, the cardiovascular aspect of Nate Diaz is going to be a factor, bro, just because of the fact that I believe they also extended it. Instead of being 5 or 6 rounds, I believe that they're going for 10.
Oh, yeah?
So, yeah, they extended that. And so knowing Nate Diaz and, of course, his type of conditioning and the way that he prepares for fights is going to, for a fact, going to go in his favor.
Yeah, for sure.
So you have also the durability aspect, is that Nate Diaz, even though he does get knocked down, which could also be a con, right? Because in the sport of boxing, you get dropped, you lose a point, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, like every time that he gets dropped, for the most part, he always gets up. So there's going to be that durability aspect of it, and the cardio, as you mentioned, and also the fact that he has some experience in boxing, bro. I mean, not from like a professional standpoint. Yeah, so he's actually has some experience with like top world-class boxers. Like I believe in his fight against Conor McGregor, I believe the first one, he was up there training with Andre Ward, who's an Olympian,
Mm.
2004 gold Olympian for the United States, and also went on to have arguably a very legendary career, you could say. Went on to be undefeated, so he actually does have experience with world class boxers. He actually has put in the rounds, and although yeah, like sparring might not necessarily not be the same thing as like a real bout, I mean ultimately like the experience does play an overall factor, because as you're in there you could pick up like little small tricks, little tips. Sometimes even just like the experience alone could teach you a bunch of stuff and prepare your body to be, I don't know, aware of certain punches or figure out what to do in any type of situations. And I'm not saying that Jake Paul might even put him in those situations, but just the mere fact that he has that little experience could actually go a long way. Because I mean, Jake Paul, if we're being honest, he's not the worst boxer, but he's not the best one. But if Nate Diaz, for whatever reason, is able to like pick up anything from any of those kind of like good sparring sessions that he had with Andre Ward and take it into the professional like ring, like in a professional bout, then who knows? Like we might see something that we've never seen from Nate Diaz, especially because, as you mentioned, he doesn't have to worry about like being taken down.
Mm.
Like his whole sole focus would literally be on his hands, which also like if you really think about it, I mean, for the most part, every time Nate fights, I mean, he's just boxing,
Yeah,
bro. Like,
yeah.
so it's not really like he's gonna do anything like super different. And I feel like he's gonna be somebody that's gonna be very comfortable in the boxing regardless.
Yeah, because if you look at his famous wins, the first Conor McGregor win, he took him out. But why did he took him out?
Yeah, because
Because
Connor went for
yes,
it. Yeah.
exactly. Conor went for the takedown because
Oh, you want to be
Nate
arrested? You
he
want
hit
to
him
be
with the one
arrested?
two. And then same thing with the Leon Edwards fight that I mentioned earlier. He hurt Leon, the current welterweight champ, in the later rounds
Well,
with
one two.
a 1-2. So the
Yeah.
1-2 is going to be very, very, very big tool that he's going to have to use, and he's going to be able to throw it more comfortably, I believe, because his MMA style, he fights longer, which doesn't really translate well in MMA because of the leg kicks and the takedown. If you're
Yeah.
giving him your leg,
Yeah, he could
his
be.
opponent can take you down.
Yeah, he could be
Yeah,
comfortably on the front foot.
yeah. It's like he's more longer fighter, and in MMA he got away with it, but he took a lot of damage,
Yeah.
with the leg kicks and the takedowns. Like, I remember Benson Henderson when he fought for the title many years ago,
Yeah.
took him down like with no effort, and like you mentioned, he does get hurt, but it's kind of hard to finish Nate Diaz. He's got finished by Josh Thompson. Finished him with a head kick. And fun fact, Josh Thompson told my brother that his leg, he had a dent in his shin from kicking Nate in the face.
Yeah, remember that Anthony Pettis, I believe, also said that Nate Diaz had a heavy ass head.
Yeah, so see that. So he, one, his training style, and two, his physiological makeup is gonna make him a hard fighter to get finished. Also, you're fighting with bigger gloves, so you can block more.
Yeah, true.
So there's a bunch of stuff that can benefit in his style, and I think boxing is kind of where he could. His style is going to translate well into boxing because the gloves and the style and no takedowns. Also, Jake's a good fighter, but he's inexperienced. Nate has a more experienced fighting better fighters and sparring. So
Yeah,
sparring and fighting doesn't translate equally, but it can give you kind of like a
and a
rough
little bit
estimate.
of it.
I mean, he can get finished. Never been knocked out, I believe. I think kind of like TKOs and stuff like
Yeah,
that, or like
TKO
doctor
only.
stoppages. I
Yeah.
think Josh Thompson, the doctor stopped it. I think Nate pulled guard and was ready, like to engage jiu-jitsu, but the ref stopped it. Same thing with the Jorge Masvidal fight. I think the doctor stopped it. So knocking him out is going to be difficult. You might drop him, but like you said, the point system is different. He might get deducted points, so he could lose on the scorecard. But like in terms of like knocking him out and finishing him out cold, like he did to Nate and Ben, and like how Jake did it to Tyrone, Nate Robinson, and allegedly, and Willie the second fight, I think that's unlikely that we're gonna get like a nasty knockout. Those are like the two main things: durability and his cardio. And in addition to that, like his durability and his cardio can give him the perfect style for boxing. It's gonna translate well because, like I said, the takedown and the kicks are not gonna be there. And typically, what Nate wants to do, he wants to punch
box.
you.
He wants to box.
Yeah. So that's who he is. He's good at other stuff, jiu-jitsu, black belt, but he wants to box. He wants to punch you. And I feel like he's gonna translate well. A lot of straight punches. He's not much of a hook or uppercut guy. He's gonna throw a lot of jabs and crosses, as we've seen. And
it's gonna be hard to do the Stockton slap.
He's not gonna Stockton slap him, which sucks. He might do it in the press conference or even after the meetup. So if you guys want that, let us know down in the comment section. Like this video, we're back. We're gonna have a lot of videos coming out once a week. then and another one on our E1 Live
Yeah.
channel, the vlog channel. That's gonna be more kind of random and isn't really structured. But this one, we're back to our old days.
Yeah. So yeah, basically that'll be it. If you guys want to check out any of our social medias, they're down below.